Like clockwork. Baby, you want, baby, I know that. After an embarrassing loss to Terrence Bud Crawford, now they're saying Canelo has a shocking injury. And in this video, I'm going to break it down. Ego injury report. Let's get started. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I know some people get mad when I tell you, I told you so. But I told you so. The Canelo Crawford fight, to me, was a fail. I don't care about the doctored up numbers and stuff that they release. I did not like the fight. And now I feel like little by little, I'm getting more and more vindication. Was it a game-changing, amazing fight? No. It was a great performance, if anything. But it also looked like Canelo definitely got old overnight, just being honest. And I can't even say overnight. He's been downtrending. That's just the reality of it, And now they're saying he is injured and he's out. Let's just get into it. It's better that I tell y'all after I show y'all. So, without further ado, roll the clip.
Canelo Alvarez, I understand you have an update.
Yes, Max. Canelo Alvarez obviously coming off of that tough loss to Terrence Crawford earlier this month. I'm told that he's going to have elbow surgery. He was set to return in February in Riyadh for the third fight of that deal. That fight is now going to be delayed until Q2 or Q3 of 2026. So Canelo's going to have the surgery, and then he'll come back.
For people who don't know, what does Q2 and Q3 mean?
The second quarter of the third quarter of the year.
Third quarter.
April, May, June.
So anywhere between
April and
January,
September.
February, March
Q1
is off. That's Q1. So anywhere from
April to September.
Through September in
Correct.
that area.
In that area, Canelo Alvarez still the face of boxing. Even after the loss, he's going to come back, and the expectation would be it would be in Riyadh. He has 2 more fights remaining on that deal with the Riyadh season.
Let's start out with Canelo Alvarez. I understand you have an update.
Boom. You never know. So now Canelo has this mysterious injury to his elbow, and they're saying he's out for the remainder of the year. Again, Boxing Ego got it right. I'm really him, bro. I'm really him. This is what I told you. I said, don't expect Crawford or Canelo to come back this year, right? Even though there's more time throughout the year. But they got a bag and made the type of money why I knew they were not going to come back this year. Now we're only down to Crawford. And his own city is pulling him over and all this extra stuff. So I don't look for him to come back either. Exactly what Boxing Ego told you. Now they're saying Canelo's injured, which requires a surgery. And now he's out for the remainder of the season, 2025. They're saying the beginning months of 2026, he not coming back. So his third fight is going to be 2026 summertime or later. So Canelo fought 2 times this year, right? William Skull and Terrence Crawford. He looked abysmal in both of those fights, right? He did not look good. He did not perform. One of the fights he actually lost. The other Skull fight, some people thought he maybe could have lost because neither of them looked great, but Skull had him missing and stuff like that. So what does this mean for Canelo? Just retire, bro. This is exactly what I was telling y'all. What's the point? Yeah, I guess you can make more millions, but it looks to be over, at the highest level. You are not a champion for the first time in 10 years. You lost all of your belts to a smaller person. And then now, per usual, just like Top Rank be doing this too, when a fighter of note loses, they try to soften the blow like, oh, he was injured. Oh, he had to get this surgery. I don't want to hear none of that. Crawford won. He beat Canelo. He advances. He can do whatever he wants. He remains undefeated. Canelo looks extremely bad. I've said this. I told you. And now you have no choice but to admit that I was right. So we know for a fact now, according to Ring, who works with Canelo, worked with his last fight, Canelo's done for the remainder of the year. And the thing that they said that was horrible is Canelo is still the face of boxing, right? They said he's still the face of boxing. No, he's not, bro. I mean, we'll see. I think this loss really put a nail in the coffin because it was a dumb fight given the weight disparity, and then you end up losing. I mean, that's like me getting beat up by a sixth grader, right? That would far outweigh being beat up by John Jones or something. That's supposed to happen. John Jones is big and, he'll beat everybody that don't fight, especially. You know what I mean? So like that wouldn't be if people seen John Jones or Prime Mike Tyson or whoever beat me, okay, that's not that big deal. But if I got mopped up by a sixth grader that looked way smaller, that's a different can of worms, right? So this just isn't good for Canelo. He looked old to me. Even though he's younger than Crawford, I've already explained how that works. Different careers, better resume, more wear and tear, more wars. So that's why you can have a fighter who's calendar years younger, right? But in boxing years, they're really kind of older. It's no different than, like, boxing ages you. Let's just be real. That's why you see fighters who don't have all their faculties, speech impediments, punchy, etc., right? Punches to the head, blunt force trauma, etc. It's no different than almost like taking drugs, where you can have somebody that was a freshman when you were a senior, but I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. So I definitely am going to look younger more often than somebody who abuses their body and poisons their body and is on meth. You see what I'm saying? So even though the person's body is physically younger than mine or the next person, is really not if they're beating up their body, not taking care of themselves, and or on substances, right? Versus this person drinks a lot of water, stays hydrated, and takes care of themselves and doesn't do those things or put the poison in their body. So really, I don't even want to hear it, bro. Canelo, they're coming out with this injury. He's out. This is what happens when you overpay him. The Saudis, they have such a raw deal in Canelo, 4-fight deal. You have to pay him $100 million per fight, pretty much, or better. And then he gave you 2 bad fights, and now he's injured. And it's cool for Crawford's career to give some relevance, but it didn't really shake up the boxing game. And it was no astronomical change after having the fight. You feel what I'm saying? There's no, man, everybody that participated in this ate big. I really truly believe this fight, Canelo Crawford, was a loss leader and they lost money, right? Just think about it. They're talking about the gate was $40 million. That's not even enough to satisfy maybe even Crawford's purse. I don't know exactly how much he got, but they did notate that Canelo got over $100 million. How much over? I don't know. But even if it was $100 million, if you have a $40 million gate, that's not enough to substantiate Canelo's. So I know, and the fight wasn't on pay-per-view. There's no way this fight was profitable at all. I don't see any way, especially since it wasn't on pay-per-view, because pay-per-view is bring your own beer, right? you're asking and leaning on the fans and the crowd to contribute to the event. So it softens the blow. But if you just put this on Netflix, I mean, how many people re-upped with Netflix or subscribed to Netflix that did not have it for Canelo and Crawford, right? Like me, I already had Netflix. So I have it. I'm not a new customer. So you can't count me as like, this is not like a new, I would imagine, I don't work for Netflix, but I would imagine that you want new customers, right? Just think of a cell phone company. If only existing customers upgrade to the new iPhone 17, that's cool, but you already had them. They're already, your base, whatever you're making is what it is, and you're within the same pool of customers that you had before. However, if that customer, they have a kid and their kid turns of a certain age, 16, and they say, hey, my kid is now old enough to get a cell phone, so we're going to get another cell phone. That could be a potential lifelong customer, and so on and so forth. So let me know in the comment section how many of you did not have Netflix that ordered Netflix for Canelo and Crawford, because I don't think it was particularly promoted well, right? And here we are. So the whole thing was a bust to me, bro. Now this just looks dumb. Canelo injured. He's out for the foreseeable future. The Saudis really took the face of boxing, cashed him out to uplift a B-side Crawford, right? And that's no disrespect. Crawford is the B-side to Canelo, at least going into the first fight, right? And you did all this. Who does that? Like, what's the logic in that from a business perspective? Like, what's the point? Like, that would be like a record label having Beyonce, and then they get somebody who's not as big as Beyonce and somehow pit this B-side person against Beyonce, and then they get the public to turn on Beyonce, who is making all this money, not Oscar, but Grammy award-winning albums and whatnot. And now you've boosted up the person underneath Beyonce, but now your cash cow has fallen from grace. Like, what's the point of that? Like, I understand if it's like 50 Cent versus Ja Rule, where Ja Rule was like the guy, the rapper who was charting, right? And then he gets kind of replaced by 50 Cent and G Unit. So that 50 Cent was running the game, making a lot of money for the industry. So that makes sense. But you did it with Bud Crawford, who's a terrific fighter, but he's 38 years old. He can't pass the torch of like Canelo's crowd and the energy and the amount. At home in Nebraska, maybe you could make some money, but I'm just talking about worldwide. I still don't see it. And Crawford's like, man, see how many people came out? We'll see. If you don't fight Canelo in his next fight and you fight outside of Omaha, let's see if you can attract that many people to Vegas. So anyway, that's it. Canelo's injured and the game looks a mess, like I told you.